कृष्णपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Welcome all of you to our daily Bhagavad Gita reading session. We are reading Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our dear Srila Prabhupada. We are discussing chapter 2, which is titled as Contents of Gita Summarized. This chapter is divided in 5 sections and we are in section 2. Just before that, we finished section 1 where Arjuna accepts Krishna as his teacher. There we saw Arjuna's further doubts of indecision and how it lead to his surrender to Krishna. That we have seen between 2.1 to 2.10. Karpanya dosha apahat svabhava pritchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yat shreyasyan nishitam gruhitan me sisyaste hang sadhi mantvam prapannam. 2.9. Wonderful verse. You should remember that. Then in second section, Krishna started speaking the knowledge of body and soul. Analytically, he is presenting this knowledge. This is also called Sankhya, the knowledge of matter and spirit, the knowledge of body and soul. And in this section, he will refute Arjuna's compassion argument. You remember, Arjuna has given 4 arguments in chapter 1. One is compassion, then second is no enjoyment, third is fear of sinful reaction, and fourth is destruction of family tradition. And in chapter 2, in the beginning section, he has given further doubts. So that is indecision. So in the second section of chapter 2, Krishna is refuting Arjuna's compassion argument. Yesterday we have finished 2.13. So today we will discuss 2.14. But before begin our discussion today, quick recap what we all have read yesterday. What are the learning points? Krishna is telling that this body is temporary, whereas soul is eternal. Soul is ever alive, body is never alive. Body undergo various changes, while soul remains unchanged. Body changed from boyhood to youth to old age. Similarly, at the time of death, it just gets another new body. This change continues, but to the soul, there is no change. Soul will continue to exist even if after death. So learned man who has the knowledge about this, they are dhiras. Dhiras tatra namuhyati. They do not bewilder. They do not bewilder by this process. So they process the event of death very knowledgeably. They have this information, this realization, this knowledge, this understanding. Spirit soul is eternally never changing. Body is always changing every second. Boyhood, youth, old age. Hence, there is no cause of lamentation. Oh Arjuna, why do you lament? Because, oh, you tell me that you are lamenting for Bhishma and Drona. But do you know, after means where is your object of affection? To their body or to their soul? Of course, to their soul, because their identity is the soul. So if your object of affection is soul, then there is no change to soul. Soul will continue to exist even if after death. So why do you lament? And you may say that, oh no, I am attached to their body. Oh, if you are attached to their body, body is anyway temporary. Eh? Because you see, it is every time changing, every second changing. Eh? You had sometime a body of youth, now a body of old man. And even though if you have attachment towards this body, anyway, after death, they will get a new body. So like someone rejoices when someone get a youth body from childhood body, so similarly, they will get a new body. So you have to, this is a matter of rejoice. So even though you are attached to the body, then also you should not lament. Spirit soul gets next body based on the activities of the current body. Arjuna should not lament for Bhishma and Drona's bodily changes, as they will get nice body based on their current activities. Body is awarded in the next life based upon the activities of one person while living in the current body. So Bhishma and Drona have done many noble activities, so they will get nice body. So either we get a material body or a spiritual body according to our activities. If we get spiritual body, we will no longer live in this material world, we will go back to Godhead. But if you get a material body, but if you are done, but if you get a material body, then this body could be better or worse. But if you have done good activities, you will get better body. And Bhishma Drona are pious souls, so they will get liberation. But if not, at least they will be promoted to heavenly planet. So they will enter into a planet where better facilities are available, and they will get a body by which they can also enjoy at heaven. So why do we lament? Both for body and soul, you should not lament. And who perfectly knows this? This is a dhira, sober man. He knows the individual soul, he knows the super soul, and nature of both matter and spirit. Hence, he never bewildered by changes in the body at the time of death. So this was the essential learning point of yesterday. So you may say that Arjuna might be thinking or saying, "Oh Krishna, that's okay, whatever you are telling, but will Bhishma and Drona will exist after they die?" No. Bhishma as a person, okay, his soul might exist, but Bhishma as a person, in this particular body is my grandfather. So I have I have tremendous affection towards this Bhishma in his current body. After he dies, he might get new body, but I don't care for that. Because this object of affection is to the present body, this current body. My affection is to this current body. So I have concern about Bhishma's future existence. So that's the reason my senses are burning and my mouth is drying up thinking about this. But what about that, Krishna? Krishna will tell, oh Arjuna, you have to tolerate this. You have to tolerate because there is no other option. This is the fact of life. You have to tolerate. So this is the next verse. 2.14. Matra sparsastu kaunteya शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत. Please join with me, devotees. Matra sparsastu kaunteya
Matra Kanteya
शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा
Sito Dukhoda
आगमापायिनो नित्यास्
Agama
Payana Nityasta
तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत.
Tam
Nam Se Titkasya Bharata
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय
Matra
Satu Kanteya
शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा
Sito
आगमापायिनो नित्यास्
Agama
Nityota
तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत.
Nam Se Titkasya Bharata
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय
Matra Satu Kanteya
शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा
Toshna Sukha Dukha Kada
आगमापायिनो नित्यास्
Agamana Payo Nityota
तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत.
Nam Se Titkasya Bharata.
Very good, excellent. Synonyms: matra sparsha, sensory perception. Tu, only. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Sita, winter. Ushna, summer. Sukha, happiness. Dukkha, and pain. Daha, giving. Agama, appearing. Apayinaha, disappearing. Anityaha, non-permanent. Tan, all of them. Titikshaswa, just try to tolerate. Bharata, O descendant of Bharat dynasty. Translation: O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So this is fundamental understanding of Bhagavad Gita. How to cultivate a characteristics of tolerance and why. You see, Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, you are telling that you have concern towards the body, present body of Bhishma, and you have concern about Bhishma's existence after death. Oh, your concern is genuine, is valid. Yes, for sure, you will not have an association of Bhishma anymore afterwards. So due to this, you might be into sorrow. But that cannot be avoided. You see, can you avoid winter? Can you avoid cold? Can you avoid summer? Can you avoid hot? No, you cannot. When winter comes, you are missing the summer season. So you might be thinking, oh, let it be summer, I will enjoy. This winter is unbearable. But when summer comes, you are thinking about winter. Oh, let the winter come. This extreme hot condition is no more bearable. But can you stop that? No. You have to tolerate. You have to tolerate. You have to tolerate. Why to tolerate? Because they are not permanent. Agama apainah. They appear, and in due course of time, they disappear. So if you tolerate, then the situation will no more be there. Then whatever you are thinking, that will come. So like if you are in distress, nobody likes distress. But if you tolerate, then happiness also will follow after distress, because this is the rule of nature. Like the winter comes after summer and summer comes after winter, similarly happiness also comes after distress and distress comes after happiness. If you are in happiness, you might enjoy that moment, but don't you know that that will not remain forever? That is temporary. So after some time, distress will come. They are anityaha, always temporary. Always temporary. No one can be in a state of happiness forever, neither in distress forever. No matter how much wealthy or knowledgeable he might be. This is the rule of material nature. Hence, tam sthitikhyasva, tolerate this experience. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. So Krishna is addressing Arjuna here in two names. One is Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, and another is Bharata. So that means descendant of Bharata. So by this he is reminding Arjuna of his two identity, two basically his attached, his connection towards his parental family and towards his maternal family. How means how Arjuna is connected to the famous Kshatriya family, Kshatriya heritage. Oh, you are the son of Kunti. Kunti Maharani is the sister of my father Vasudeva, and you are the descendant of Bharata. So both from your maternal side and your paternal side, you are belonging to famous dynasty. So by this, he is reminding Arjuna about his duty as Kshatriya. We'll see in some time. So matra sparsa. Why do we experience stress or distress or happiness, hot or cold? Because of the experience of the sense objects. Matra sparsa. When our senses touch the sense objects. Matra means sense objects. Sparsa means touched. So when our senses touch the sense object, a experience used to come to our senses. Our senses used to get some experience. What is that? Shita or Usna, Sukha or Dukha. This gives rise to sensation of cold and hot, happiness and distress. Da means give, Yashoda means who gives yasa. Similarly, Sito Usna Sukha Dukkadaha. And these are not permanent. These are temporary. Anityaha. Nitya means permanent. Anityaha, temporary. And they come and disappear in due course of time. You have to just pass that time. Agama, apaina. O Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, tam stitikhyasva, tolerate these experiences of the sense objects. Tams, hence all these experiences, titikhyasva, tolerate. Purport. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha, January or February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principle doesn't hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Oh, such a wonderful statement. There would be many inconveniences due to this climatic change. Like for a mother, it is very difficult to cook in the kitchen during summer season because summer, it is itself hot, and while cooking, it produces further heat. So who will love to be exposed towards heat in the summer season? No one. But a mother is lovingly and willingly does so. Why? Because she knows her duty and she gives her duty first priority than these experiences, than these climatic inconveniences. She is willingly exposing herself into these difficulties, into this difficult situation, because she prioritizes her duty. But similarly, a spiritual practitioner, always it is recommended for him to rise early in the morning. Rising early in the summer, it's okay. But in the month of Magha, it is difficult. It is winter. And on top of that, it is recommended to take a bath early in the morning. So, who will love to take a bath early in the morning, that too during January and February? No one. But still, a serious spiritual practitioner does so because he prioritizes his duty as a spiritual seeker. Hence, he doesn't hesitate to take part. So, why do we tolerate? We put our duty as high priority than those experiences of some inconveniences. In the proper discharge of duty, because you have to properly discharge your duty, hence you have to tolerate. While discharging your duty properly, you will have many obstacles. You cannot avoid that. That is natural. In our life, whenever we discharge our duty dutifully, you might see that there are a lot of obstacles in the life. You might wonder, oh, I am trying to discharge my duty very dutifully or properly. How come there are a lot of obstacles? I am not committed to any wrong duty. But that is natural. So, then what should be your reaction? Tolerate them. Because they will not exist forever. They will come and go. Like the happiness and distress appearing and disappearing, like the summer and winter appearing and disappearing. Similarly, all these obstacles, no matter how big it may be, it is non-permanent in nature. It will come and disappear. So you have to tolerate. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriya. How it is applicable in case of Arjuna? But similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas. For the Kshatriya, his duty is to fight. And although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. It really doesn't matter whether you are fighting against your friend or relative or enemy. If you are fighting for right cause, you have to fight, because that's the duty of Kshatriya. You cannot deviate from your prescribed duty. If like the duty of a teacher, the duty of a teacher is to teach. You cannot say that I can teach only to the good student, not to the unintelligent students. No, you have to teach to everyone. Whether he is intelligent or non-intelligent, that's your duty, your prescribed duty. A teacher doesn't discriminate. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulation of religious principle in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Why? Why should we abide to our prescribed rules and regulation or religious principles? That means, why should we abide to dharma? Why should we abide to our duty, our responsibility? Why? If we do so, we will be rise up to the platform of knowledge. By properly discharging your duty, by abiding dharma, you will get jnana. You will rise up to the platform of knowledge. What is this knowledge? Knowledge means here the knowledge is the knowledge of body and soul, the knowledge of temporary of matter and eternality of soul. The knowledge about the soul and supreme soul and their relationship. So all these realization will come if you abide your life by dharmic principles. If you live your life by dharmic principles, that means with the injunctions of the Vedic literature, whatever is prescribed there, if you stick to that, you will rise up to the platform of knowledge. Then what will happen with this knowledge? When this knowledge will come, this realization will come, this will mature into devotion. Because by knowledge and devotion only one can liberate himself from the clutches of Maya. When this will mature into devotion, and you will get attraction towards the Supreme Lord, towards Krishna, and that will liberate you from these clutches of Maya. Nobody wants to be in the jaw of Maya. Everyone wants to be free. Everyone wants to be independent. You see, when the Britishers were ruling, nobody likes that. The entire country, the entire nation fought together against the Britishers to be independent, because they would realize that. But before that, happily they were under their ruling for several years, several years, almost 400 years. But when they realized, when they come to the platform of knowledge, that gives them motivation to get freedom. Similarly, if you avoid your life, if you live your life with dharmic principles, you will rise up to the platform of knowledge, and that will mature into devotion, and that devotion will bring you liberation from the clutches of Maya. The two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. Such a wonderful teaching. Okay, now time is up, so we are stopping here. We will continue again tomorrow. Thank you all very much for your patientful hearing. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.